So we bought this abandoned R32 Skyline from a random paddock in the middle of nowhere here in Australia.
Oh my God!
It's dirty, it's rusty, but this thing has so much potential and we're gonna bring it back to its former glory. So I'm here with my good friend Cam Martin. We're gonna pop the bonnet and have a look at this RB20, but this thing has not been started in probably 10 years?
10 years.
At least.
Has to be.
Just going by the evidence that we've found on this car, and we have not touched this car, so we don't know if it turns over, we don't know if it runs, we don't know anything, but we're highly optimistic that we can get this thing running, hopefully, maybe. I think when we pop the bonnet, people are probably gonna think that we're being a little bit optimistic there, but that's fine.
As you can see, she is a little bit weathered, but that's okay. It's an RB. RBs live through anything.
So first, we're gonna pressure wash this engine bay, which is gonna be so satisfying because, wow.
Just look at it. Look
It's
at all
insane. Everywhere. So I think a couple of other things are gonna rear their ugly heads as we wash this thing and kind of start to discover new things. Let's freaking pressure wash this thing. Hell yeah. Hopefully the soap fixes the rust.
That'd be nice.
That'd be sick. We have discovered some more rust. This is pretty hectic, this spot. Oof, look at that. Dang, this car's had an interesting life. It's so crazy that a car with such low kilometers can have rust like this, but that's Japan for you.
No.
Guess what? Your boy's not deterred. It's just another problem we have to fix.
It just means we have to do an open door respray.
Yeah, bro. Nah, this thing's getting everything. Stick around to the end of the video to hear the exact plans for this car because I have decided what we are gonna do with it, which is gonna be pretty darn cool.
I'm so keen.
Yeah, I'm so keen. Done.
We're done.
Look how clean it looks now. It's actually a bit deceiving because it's still wet.
Nah. That's how good it looks in real life.
I mean,
That's how
look
good
at
it
your
looks.
face. Look, show.
Is it?
That is, look, you got dirt all over it. That
Oh,
is-
really?
So one thing we haven't actually mentioned about this car is how straight it is. Like every panel, great. All good. Bonnet's fantastic. Front bumper's fantastic. This is patinaed, but it's fully straight. And we have a wee dent right here. That means that there's not a huge amount of body work itself to be done before we can paint this thing, which is great. Just the rust repairs, which we're not going to talk about right now because there's a little bit of work in that. But now the thing everyone's been waiting for. It's time to see if this RB20 runs. So we're now back in the shop and it's time to get this thing running. So Cam is going ahead and removing the front timing cover because we want to take a good look at this timing belt. That'll tell us a lot about the life of the motor, how it looks, make sure it's actually intact. I can see right here that the water pump has been replaced. It's got the gasket goo around it. We got new belts and stuff here. So at some point this thing was looked after, which is always a good sign.
Well, according to this, it's had a time belt 30,000 Ks ago. So once we get this off, we'll be able to confirm that and then we'll go from there.
Yep, and of course we want to put some oil down the spark plug holes and turn it over by hand to make sure that A, the motor rotates, and B, we don't wreck the bores when we turn it over for the first time, so.
And then we got our SP tools to pull this thing apart.
Yeah, boy. Let's go. What's the percentage that this thing's actually gonna run? What's your like?
I'm 95%. I had a car the same, hadn't been started since 2002 or 2005 or something.
Yeah.
In a big crash. I did the same thing I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Started up, misfired for a bit because it had these have hydraulic lifters, and when they've sitting for a long time, they bleed down and then they don't have full compression. They miss. I think it's guaranteed to start. Everything else looks good around it. I think we're in for a good night.
Yes, it's gonna. I'm so hyped. Montage 3, 2, 1. Woo! That's good.
That
dude.
looks really good. I'm telling you now, 100% this thing will start.
Yeah.
I reckon 100%.
Oh yeah. And how's it it looking? Dang.
Very good.
That's clean. Holy crap. Okay, so give us your RB verdict so far.
Everything looks good.
I am literally mind blown. I've been watching them pull this apart and just been like, wow. Underneath all of that dirt is just RB beautiful goodness. By the way, how good does the Datsun look? That thing is almost, it's 99% done. Obsessed with that car. Spark plug number 1. She's rich.
Yeah, not too bad.
They're the expensive spark plugs, yeah? They're iridiums.
Iridiums.
Yeah. So we have all 6 spark plugs out now. Everything looks good. Clearly, there's been fuel just sat on them for many years. So thanks to our homies at Autobarn, we have brand new BKR 7E spark plugs that we're throwing straight in the motor. But first, we're throwing oil down the spark plug holes and we're turning it over and just making sure everything's Mickey Mouse. But we had a quick look down the bores and everything looks great.
Look where the coil pack seats around the spark plug hole, and it's like brand new. So
it's healthy, eh?
It looks very, very nice.
So it's time to turn the motor over by hand for the first time. Make sure that she actually spins.
I'm scared.
Good luck, bro.
No, this is guaranteed to spin. Alright, ready?
Yep. Hey, rotation.
You can't hear any like scraping, like bores that are corroded and stuff. Like
Yeah.
it sounds perfect.
So we've got the timing locked in. Everything is timed beautifully by the looks of things.
Look down, and on the balancing, you can see it's lined up perfectly. So
Yeah.
we are laughing.
Awesome, bro. So next steps.
Put a battery on it.
Oh, and turn it over.
Take it over.
We may lose the battery. Turn it over.
Yep.
Yes, sick.
Yeah, it spins over. Nice.
Great. So my boy Cam has been hard at work. It's all back together and ready to start. Look at this fuel setup we have hooked up. We have G'd up the fuel setup just to see if it runs.
Look at this
We didn't have any small post batteries. We only have the big post ones. So these are G-clamped to the posts. It looks dodgy, but it works. Just to give you guys some context as to why we are not running the fuel from the back. So this is how dirty the boot is. And then you go in here. We have a little bit of work to do in the fuel tank. So putting a fuel pump back in there right now is not going to be ideal. We're that keen to see if this thing runs that we just threw the fuel setup together for you and us. And right now Cam is going to turn the motor over first just to make sure it all works before we actually run fuel. So we're not going to run fuel right now. Give her a quick crank. Let's make sure it's all good.
3, 2, 1.
Yep, that is beautiful.
Fire up, huh?
All right. So Cam, tell us why it's not running.
Assuming because we have a main power fuse here that has been taken.
So I made a quick bridge for our fuse. That's this right here. Obviously, it looks dodgy, but at the same time, all we're doing is starting it and idling it. So we'll order that new fuse, but for now, that's gonna get us by so we can actually give this thing a start. All right, so it's about an hour later. Unfortunately, Cam had to go home. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Let's get Cam to 10K. But I've been fiddling away. I've added a couple of things. Look at the contraption we have going on here. We've got the fuel pump on. I've added a ground here, and I went along and tapped all of the injectors basically with this and a hammer, and just give them a bit of a tap to try and see if we can loosen them up. So now I'm gonna try and start it again. To be fair, I don't have a huge amount of faith that I'm gonna get this started by myself. It's a little bit of a mission. We're running out of battery power, but nonetheless, we'll give it a crack. Come on, buddy. All right. Power's all good. Oh! What the hell? We have life! What? Holy crap, what the hell? Sounds like maybe it's running on 5 cylinders. Man, that is quiet. What? Oh my god. I'm dumbfounded. That is actually mental. And listen to it. We got Cam on FaceTime. She runs, boy.
I'm so stoked. I knew it while you run.
Oh,
I don't think it's there though.
I'm so happy. Oh my god. Oh, I wish I was out the back when that happened. Oh, look at the rust. Holy crap. It literally goes all the way back here and up here. That is insane. No way. Oh, it smells a little bit funky in here now. So I've run it up to temperature now, and she's Mickey Mouse. Look at that. She's got oil pressure up to temp. Don't want to rev it too much because we haven't done an oil change on it yet. I'm so freaking happy, man. So good. So it's the following day and I didn't want to leave you guys high and dry. We've got the car running, but I actually want to see whether it will drive. And we cannot do that with the fuel setup we had jiggied up to the motor. So we're gonna fix the fuel pump in the rear. At the moment, this is what we have to deal with in the rear. Man, there's been some mice living in here, or rats, or both. So first thing we're gonna deal with is getting rid of all of this gunk in here. I'm gonna use the wetback and vacuum up all the crap inside as much as I can. We'll throw some fuel in it and we're gonna throw a brand new Raceworks fuel pump into the tank. That's gonna replace this crusty old boy. Look at that. This is the Raceworks FP500 pump. So right now we're gonna throw this pump into the bracket and throw this into the back of the car and see if we can't get this thing running properly with its own fuel from its own fuel tank, and then we can put it in drive and see if the auto gearbox actually works. So our Raceworks fuel pump is all fitted to the carrier. Beautiful. I mean, the fuel pump looks good, the carrier looks like trash, but it'll do for now. There's just something about buying old trash cars and doing this to them that is just so freaking satisfying. I don't know why, but I absolutely freaking love it. So it's actually the following day because every battery and every car I had in the shop here went flat, which was actually pretty frustrating, but we have our Raceworks fuel pump in the tank. I actually ended up running brand new lines because the old ones were so freaking perished. All right, here we go. Put it in park. Oh, I hear the fuel pump. Hey, this thing freaking purrs. That is crazy. And since it's running, that means we can actually put it in drive and see if this thing will move forwards and backwards under its own power. The brakes are super soft because this thing needs a freaking bleed, but we're gonna end up replacing all the brakes anyway. But here we go, in reverse. All right, I can feel it. She wants to move. There we go. Oh, we're heading outside. So good. The official first drive. Power steering works. Don't want to hit anything on our way out. So good. All right, she's in drive. Are we ready? Oh, yep. It drives. Oh, that is such a freaking relief, especially because we really need to be able to move the cars around our shop because we've got such a small shop. But this is so freaking good. I can't really drive too far, A, because the brakes suck, and B, I don't know what all this white stuff is over the windows like in the car, but it's everywhere. So also I can't drive it too far because it's still got that oil in it, and I really want to do a full service on this thing. I do not in any way, shape or form want to ruin this motor. Well, there you have it. This thing runs and drives beautifully, may I say, which means this was a very good purchase. Speaking of, I did see a couple of comments in the last video with a few people saying that they thought that this was overpriced, which is quite interesting to me actually, because I searched for months and months to try and find anything even close to this, and rolling Skyline shells were going for $5,000+. So to buy a complete car that actually runs and drives for 8 grand is actually pretty darn good. Not to mention the fact that for some reason, the worse the car is when I buy it, the more excited I get. Obviously because I get to make the content for you guys, but there's just something about taking something so broken and turning it into something amazing. It's so freaking good. So I'm happy with my purchase. That being said, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This thing freaking runs and I could not be happier. And you know what that means? We get to start tearing this thing down. I've seen your comments. I know you guys want to see this thing restored. I freaking cannot wait. Personally, I would love to turn this into a 4-door kind of GTR style build. So I think that's the angle we are going to be going for. But nonetheless, we're going to restore it. We're going to fix the rust, make this thing absolutely beautiful, leave no stone unturned. I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Go subscribe to Cam's channel. Let's get him to 10K subs. Thank you guys as always. I'll see you in the next video. Yo, peace. Running, driving, R32 Skyline. We probably should do a skid in it soon, but not yet. Bye.